Okay, so I am doing a video response to all of the comments so far on my Coon Christmas 2023 video, the psychological analysis of what narcissistic abuse looks like. And I think I'm more than qualified to actually speak on this subject because I have a master's degree in mental health counseling. I'm working towards getting my licensure as a licensed mental health clinician. Plus, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Of course, I have an undergrad degree in sociology. And I've been married to a narcissist for 8 years. And it's a really hard concept to swallow, that I've been being abused for 8 years. I've been wondering why I'm not doing well, and I was just ended up being the perfect victim, if you will, for narcissistic abuse. So as I've been watching over the video over and over again, I really have been crying all day. Like, I didn't recognize how incredibly abusive she is, because while it's happening, I'm honestly in like survival mode. Like, how can I appease her? What can I say to calm her down? And it only took me 8 years to realize nothing will ever calm her down. Nothing will ever be good enough. Nothing I can do will be good enough. And even after being separated for a year, my stupid loyalty to her and my desire to not get divorced and to, grow old with her, ideally, my wife, and we own a business together. We have 2 really great kids together. They're her kids, or I call them my kids. They're my stepkids, but I've been their dad for 8 years, so they're my kids. I finally have gotten past the labels of step parent. I'm their parent now, right? But she never let me be their parent. But I can't believe how inappropriate she acted on Christmas. I mean, it really breaks my heart. The thing that breaks my heart the most is to have the kids see her like that. And they're just so used to it. But one thing that really makes me angry about this insane behavior is if it was the other way around, I absolutely would have been arrested and probably jailed for years for atrocious crimes like domestic violence or child abuse. Like, she would have twisted or just made accusations that I was just too much of a wussy to defend myself. Like, I didn't think anyone was ever going to believe me, but after all of this time, I finally have the courage now to recognize it. That's really all I do. And this video response, but is my only way of fighting back. And I'm not trying to fight back in any negative way. I am a psychologist and I am a mental health counselor, so I'm trying to look at the good at this. At least I'm getting some positive real life experience on cluster B personality disorders, which narcissistic personality disorder is one of the big 4. We've got antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and sadly, all 4 of those disorders don't have cures. There's no cures for those types of personality disorders because they are so embedded in behavior and thoughts that were likely formed in early life. So basically, if you have a fucked up childhood, you're susceptible to developing a personality disorder, and you won't think there's anything wrong with you, so you're not really going to be susceptible to any type of treatment. Now, the only reason that the weekend went smoothly was because I didn't fight back. I just hit record and let her talk, and good Lord, did she do a Academy Award winning performance. If I didn't know her better, if she wasn't dead serious, I would think it was a parody But honestly, Hollywood can't even write scripts that well. Like, the performance she gave me on Christmas, on camera, she acknowledged to be recorded at least 5 times on camera, and she even said, for the record, multiple times. For the record, she's not a pump and dump station, which is just a brutal insult at our sex life and in front of the children. And that's one of my boundaries I set up a long time ago that she just blows past. She doesn't accept any kind of boundary. But all of the hundreds of other times that I've recorded her, I was afraid that what she was saying was true. Like, she's calling me abusive. For the first many years, I was like, oh shit, maybe I am abusive. But I know I'm not. I'm not. God knows I'm not, and I'm not. I haven't done anything ever abusive. I'm way too afraid of her, for one. Plus, I'm an empath. That's my personality profile. And so I don't abuse anybody. I mean, I came into this marriage to help them. I'm not there to abuse them. Like, and if I had abused them, she obviously would have had me arrested years ago. Like, so it's only, I'm just a sucker that accepts her abuse of me. But thankfully, after recording this, and it wasn't only until after I reviewed the footage that I was able to recognize, wow, that is unacceptable. That is absolutely inappropriate. Like, I know that's happening in the moment. I know it's inappropriate. I know it's unacceptable, but all my mind thinks to do is, holy shit, just what can I do to make this woman happy? How can I walk on eggshells around her, to not get in trouble myself? And for years I complained to her. I'm like, I'm not a bad man, Shayla. I'm not a bad man. Like, I cried myself to sleep for years saying, I'm not a bad man, Shayla. And honestly, I think it was narcissistic supply to her every time I just confessed my pure inner thoughts and soul and feelings. And but after having been separated for a year, and then me sacrificing everything I have, right? I gave up my apartment. I threw away almost all my furniture in order to move quickly. And not to mention moving, canceling all my bills, putting all my bills in a new name, forwarding my mail. All that shit is extremely difficult for me, and she knows that. But I did it for her. I did it to prove my loyalty to her and my commitment to her. I gave up my apartment, and that wasn't good enough. So, and then her giving me a divorce for Christmas, to me that sounds like narcissistic abuse, discard of a victim, which, if you are familiar with the literature on narcissistic abuse, and the narcissist gets narcissistic supply out of abusing their victims. I mean, making fun of them, belittling them, confusing them, making them scared. And again, it's hard for me to see my wife as evil. I see her as, she has a personality disorder, and this is just the way her brain functions. It's not her fault, per se. I mean, it is. She has to be responsible for it at some point. But I'm so empathetic and so caring and so compassionate and graceful. And I try to be the absolute best Christian I can be, and I give her everything. She made me disown my family, like, out of loyalty to her, and I did that for her. I didn't want to do it. I fought her for years on it, and of course, she belittled me and everything and finally I gave up, and I said, fuck you, parents, you assholes, you're shitty parents. You're the reason I'm shitty. Like, that's how toxic she was, and that's how she convinced me I was. But after watching the video, I realized just, well, one, I'm sad I didn't recognize it sooner. I'm super embarrassed and ashamed, and that's why I didn't speak up or release the videos earlier, because I've had videos like this for years, but I was so afraid of her. I was so afraid that what she was saying to me was true.